The class reunion invitation. The message came on a dull Tuesday afternoon. 15-year reunion. Don't miss it? Kwan, class rep. I stared at the name for a long time. Kwan, my ex-boyfriend. The one I left behind 15 years ago, in the middle of a rainy season, when I decided I wanted a stable life instead of a passionate one. Now I'm married to Nam, quiet, gentle, the kind of man who fixes toys for our son while humming old songs. He looked up from the floor that night and said, "You should go. It'll be fun to see your old friends." "Aren't you coming?" "Why would I? It's your class, not mine." I smiled, nodded, but a strange ache stirred in my chest. When I caught my reflection in the mirror later, I saw a woman of 33 with faint lines under her eyes. A stranger who used to be me. The same heartbeat, but a different heart. The red dress. I picked the red dress from the back of my closet, the one I hadn't dared to wear in years. Nam hugged me before I left. His cologne, warm cedar and amber, still clinging to my collar. "Text me when you're heading home, okay?" "I will." At the restaurant, the music was loud, the light golden and nostalgic. People had changed, but not their laughter. Then I saw him, Kwan. Still the same short haircut. Still that smirk that once made me skip a heartbeat. He looked older, but calmer. A dangerous kind of calm. He stood, offered a polite hug. "It's been a long time, huh?" "Yeah, it has." We sat at table 7. Between us, 15 years of silence and 1 glass of wine. Old stories, new flames. We reminisced about our teachers, about the year the school flooded, about the bench behind the library, the one where we first kissed. Kwan didn't mention the breakup. He only asked the kind of questions that seem harmless until you realize they aren't. "How's work?" "Fine." "Your husband?" "Kind." "Your kid?" 3 years old. "And you?" "Still alive." "Married?" "No. Never found anyone worth it." I laughed awkwardly. He raised his glass. "Some things expire, huh? Others don't." He said it like a fact, not a confession. And somehow, that made it worse. The message. I got home past midnight. Nam and our son were asleep. My phone buzzed. "Thanks for coming. The red dress brought back memories of the rain." "Kwan." I stared at it for a while, then replied without thinking. "It was good seeing you too." His reply came instantly. "Coffee tomorrow? I have something to give you." "What?" "A picture from the old days." "Where?" "Our old cafe behind the theater." I closed the screen, heart pounding like a guilty drum. I didn't sleep that night. The photograph. I told Nam I had a client meeting. Kwan was already there when I arrived. He placed a small faded photo on the table. Me at 18, grinning, ponytail high, his arm over my shoulder. Behind us, a banner read, "Welcome Freshmen." "You kept this?" "There are things I couldn't delete." We talked about nothing, and yet everything. His voice had that soft, persuasive rhythm I used to drown in. "Are you happy, huh?" "Enough. Enough to stop missing who you used to be?" I tried to laugh. "You sound like you're selling nostalgia." "I'm in event planning now. I sell moments." That line should have scared me. Instead, it fascinated me. Crossing the line. That afternoon, we went to a small hotel near the park. He said it was quiet. I told myself it would only be coffee and conversation. But the door closed. The smell of new wood and faint perfume filled the air. He kissed me before I could lie to myself again. When it was over, we didn't cuddle. He stared at the ceiling. "Did you ever imagine this day would come?" "Never." "I did." "Why?" "Because unfinished stories always find a way back." I left first. The street outside was wet with rain. I told myself it was just one mistake. But lies, like rust, spread quietly. The hidden camera. We met again and again. I told Nam I had late meetings. He believed me because that's who he was, a man who trusted too easily. Then one night, Nam came home early. His face was pale, eyes cold. He placed a small black USB drive on the table. "A delivery came today. No sender. Just this." Inside the USB was a folder named Red Dress Table 7. Videos, blurred but unmistakable. Me and Quan, in the hotel room. Photos of me walking in, walking out. Even a short audio clip, laughter, my voice. My stomach twisted. Nam, who filmed this? I don't know. Who was it, huh? Quan. He stepped back like I had struck him. Then he laughed. A sound that wasn't laughter at all. You cheated with him and he filmed it? I couldn't answer because the truth was worse than silence. The public shame. The next day, the video appeared in our class group chat. Someone had uploaded a censored version with the caption, "Class reunions really do reunite everything." My phone buzzed endlessly. Messages, insults, pity, mockery. The red dress woman. That's what they called me now. I shut my phone off, but the noise in my head didn't stop. I knew who did it. Quan, the man who planned events, who knew how to control lighting, angles, exposure, and revenge. I texted him. Why? He saw it, didn't reply. I called. He hung up.
The truth about revenge. I found him at the same cafe. He looked calm, sipping his coffee as if we hadn't burned down my life. It was you, wasn't it? You're upset. Sit down. You recorded it. You have no proof. Why would you do this? He smiled faintly. Do you remember that rainy day 15 years ago when you disappeared? You didn't even say goodbye. You just left. You erased me, huh? I'm just returning the favor. You destroyed my family. You did that yourself. I just hit upload. My hands shook. Did you ever love me? I loved the part of you that thought she could walk away without consequences. When I got home, Nam was packing his things. I talked to a lawyer, he said quietly. Don't, please. We'll separate for now. I won't let our son grow up in this chaos. I made a mistake. No, you made a choice, and you chose wrong. He looked at me one last time. Do you know what hurts most? Not the betrayal, the fact that you risked our son's name for a man who wanted revenge. He left that night. The house felt smaller than ever. The second USB. 2 days later, another anonymous envelope arrived, this one addressed to the school alumni group. It contained the hotel booking receipt. Booked by Q Event Agency. Notes: set up discreet camera. My blood ran cold. It wasn't a mistake. It was production, a planned story. I could sue, but for what? I had cheated. I was already guilty. The law might call him criminal, but society had already sentenced me. The last meeting. I met him one last time by the river. I give up, I said. I'm not competing. You ruined me. No, huh? You pressed record long before I did. Why? Because you left me in the rain 15 years ago. I waited that long to watch you drown in your own storm. I wanted to slap him, scream, anything, but I just stood there, numb. One last thing, I asked. When you touched me that day, was it love? He smiled coldly. It was closure. Aftermath. My son still asks, Mom, why does Dad live somewhere else? I tell him, because grown-ups make mistakes, but they still love you. Sometimes I look in the mirror and barely recognize myself. The woman in the red dress is gone. What's left is someone who learned that some flames burn just to leave scars. I sent one final message to the class group. I was wrong, but the person who filmed and leaked it, you know who you are. If you're proud of destroying someone, congratulations, you did it. No one replied. Silence is the loudest kind of judgment. The empty table. A few months later, I walked past the restaurant. The same music, the same lighting. Table 7 was empty. I stood there for a long while, not to remember, but to promise myself, never again. Never again will I sit at the table where weakness disguised itself as love.